In this episode of Week to Wicked, STABIL partnered with Hot Rod Magazine to build the ultimate truck for the Hot Rod Power Tour and commemorate STABIL's 60th anniversary. Our team will have 7 days to transform a restored 1958 Chevrolet Apache into a reliable, comfortable, and fun shop truck that will be worthy of the road trip of a lifetime. Follow along at hotrod.com.
All right, so it's day 2 of our STABIL Week to Wicked build. The CPP team is here installing the front suspension. We're gonna move on to the rear and wrap that up. From there, we're gonna do brake lines, install the engine mounts, get the brake pedal done. So let's get to work. The only advice I honestly could give someone that wanted to do this for a living, and that's to build hot rods, is make sure you got the love for it and the passion for it. Because I think without that, you're not going to build the product that really deserves to be out there on the road.
My advice as a car builder would be to, if you are teenage years, I would do everything I could to further your mechanical aptitude. Try to tear everything apart you can and put it halfway back together. You might want to look into a technical training school. I know a lot of them are teaching street rod courses now. Hang around a guy's shop if you know some guy that has a hot rod shop, and just do the best you can.
Yeah, my advice for someone who would want to get into hot rods would be stay dedicated, keep pushing, keep learning, keep burning, keep turning. I don't know, man, you just gotta love it, honestly. I think it's more of a passion than work, you know.
It was a little hard for me to get into this industry, and finally I got in because I had some welding skills and some fabrication skills. So I got into the old cars, which my dad taught me how to work on them, and that's how I got into it.
For somebody like myself that's really fresh into this industry, for me it was all about following something that I love doing. So in order for me to fulfill my life, I needed to follow what I love to do, you know, and that was about coming here, working with classic cars, being part of this lifestyle.
I think as a business owner, my advice to anybody who would want to start a business in the classic car industry or in the automotive industry would be to find your own niche. I think for us, back when we got started, we looked for something that was different, and I was very interested in the steering, brakes, and suspension portion of it. So that was obviously where we started, and we started with the classic truck parts. You know, we were able to grow and expand from there. So my advice would be find your own niche, create your own identity, use that as your foundation, and then, you know, the sky's the limit, really. You can go anywhere from there, I think.
All right, so our build team is getting ready to put the LS3 from Sta-Bil Performance. This engine makes 430 horsepower, 425 pound-feet of torque, fuel injected, it's all aluminum. This is an engine that if you want a car to be reliable and you're driving the car on Power Tour like we are with this 1958 Chevy, you want to go for an engine like this because it's not going to give you any issues. We got rid of that old iron small block and we're putting this in instead. So this is a Connect and Cruise package from Sta-Bil Performance. It comes complete with the wiring harness, the ECU. They even send you the gas pedal for this thing. They're sliding this thing into the truck so they can mock up the motor mounts as well as the transmission mount and get on to the next step of the project.
Power Tour started in 1995 with a couple hot rod editors wanting to go out to Power Fest in Norwalk, Ohio. They left from Los Angeles and basically just did a call out of, hey, if you guys want to tag along, we're going to be driving out. So they had about 10 different project cars go the whole way, and that became the long hauler crew. Power Tour encompasses everything awesome about a road trip. You have 5,000 of your new best friends on the road at the same time, all with late model, early model, tons of different kinds of vehicles. and we take over a bunch of small towns with burnouts, drag racing, autocross, a main stage with bands, and a pretty packed vendor midway. So this year for Power Tour, we're going from Bowling Green, Kentucky, all the way down through Chattanooga, past Atlanta, and we're gonna come up through South Carolina and into North Carolina, ending at the ZMAX Dragway. The great thing about Power Tour is that Chevy Performance brings out their motor medics. So if anything does happen to go wrong or we need to adjust the tuning, they're gonna be there to help us out.
All right, so it's the end of day 2. The guys have started the plumbing of the brakes. We still have the fuel system to do. Fuel tank, fuel lines, fuel pump, regulator, all that good stuff. To stay updated with the Sta-Bil Apache build, tune into hotrod.com.